Welcome to Positively Gary. I'm Lloyd Fisher along with
Ray Fisher.
and we're very, very glad to bring you a special guest today. Tommy C. has been an acquaintance of mine for longer than he knows because his older brother Jerry C. was a classmate of mine and we were 3 years ahead of him over at Roosevelt High School. However, Tommy, I want to say welcome to the show, and we know the people are going to enjoy your charismatic appearance today.
Well, it's a real pleasure being with both you, Lloyd and Ray. It's a real pleasure seeing both of you guys together.
Thank you, Tommy. And just a little preliminary about Tommy. Tommy wasn't born in Gary, like a lot of us were not, but he came to Gary at an early age from Humboldt, Tennessee, where he started out making first, being the first black child born in the local hospital in Humboldt.
Right.
Tommy, we're going to let you take it from there and tell us about your childhood and your experiences over at Roosevelt as you progressed through high school.
Well, you know, Gary is a very interesting place, and like you said, I came from Humboldt, Tennessee, when I was 6 months. My family migrated up here. It's a long story behind that, but my dad was real light-skinned black, and it was a different type of era during that time. But anyway, coming up here to Gary was a interesting experience. My first school experience was the hut.
Hello.
Everybody knew the hut. And it looked just like that. Looked like a little log cabin.
Right.
It was a unique place. It has a lot of meaning. It had a lot of meaning in the city. But that's where my nurturing started, at the hut. Not only was the hut a school, but it later became a religious domain for us because, as you know, the hut became the Kingdom Hall for Jehovah's Witnesses after that, where I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, along with the Catherine Jackson, the Jackson family. All of us came out of that same congregation. And that's, to me, had a lot to say, okay, because I started my schooling and my first religious experience came through the same building, the hut. So it had a lot of significance for me.
Okay, now as you were at the hut and then progressed from there, and as everybody can see, Tommy has a terrific amount of charisma and personality. That's what stood him in good stead throughout his professional career. But as you progressed from the hut over to Roosevelt, let us know what were your thoughts and about your maturation as you progressed to graduation.
Well, be honest with you, when I first went to Roosevelt, it scared the hell out of me. No, because you know you're growing up and you're looking at all the different personalities. And instead of having a kindergarten personality to deal with, now I had a more of a mature attitude to deal with. So kids can be fun or they can be horrible. It just depends on how you relate to them. Fortunately, I've always had the personality to relate to any sort, whether it be degrading sort or affluent sort. It didn't really bother me, but I had a great time at Roosevelt. I was nurtured at Roosevelt. I had my experiences with music. I was a trumpet player, as a matter of fact, and I played trumpet because my dad played trumpet in school, but he never was successful that much. And when it came time to get into a band, I chose the trumpet just for that reason, to make my father proud of me. And I think the most crowning moments in my career is when my father bought me a trumpet that he could not afford to buy. Wow. But he sacrificed and bought it, and it gave me the inspiration to say, well, since my dad sacrificed to do this, I'm going to make sure that his sacrifice will be paid off in reward as far as me making accomplishments with that horn, and which I did.
And Tommy, to add here, I think you might have mentioned earlier that you were a trumpet mate in the band of one of our good friends, Dr. Otis Williams.
Dr. Otis Williams, correct. Yeah, Otis and myself were in the band at the same time.
Now, the motto or logo of our show is called Positively Gary. And I understand you have some very positive and upbeat activities that you have in store for Gary. And we'd like for you to let the viewing audience in on some of those.
Wait, but let's let him finish about Roosevelt High School and the personality he met there, which sent him off to his positive career.
Well, here, again, like I said, Roosevelt was a great experience. The teachers were, at that time, thoughtful teachers. They were like parents to you in a lot of ways. So I got a good nurturing, especially Mr. Williams, the band director.
Okay.
I had good success with the music. I was in the All City Orchestra, All City Band. I had won tons of gold medals. I really enjoyed the experience. It was a lot of fun. I was in the marching band. I was in the Bud Billiken Parade every year.
Oh, right.
All the parades. It was just a lot of fun. So, I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed that. And as for what you were saying about, you was mentioning.
I was given a preview of coming attraction. You had talked about
Oh, yeah,
the
what we're doing
positive
now.
things that
Yeah.
you have in
Oh,
store.
Yeah, yeah. We got a lot on. I looked at Gary and I said, man, it would be nice to bring back something positive here. Again, watch what you ask for, because God gives you exactly what you
Right.
do ask for,
Hey.
because that is the positive force in my life. What I've got on the agenda now is that we have started a stepper set called Stepping with the Legends, or Stepping Around the World at the Genesis, of course. But we took it to a different level. All of the people that are involved with me are genuinely my clients. The needle master, who is Willie Cox, is my client. Has been a client of mine for years. One of the greatest DJs out here. He's the stepping DJ, a stepping legend DJ. So with his help, I put together a thing on Wednesday nights, where not only do I present the stepping, I give away gifts. I have celebrity entertainment that comes in there. Since we took a real look at what would make that work and make it work a little bit better, we decided to do this.
Okay.
Steppers are fantastic people. They're the mature audience that I seek, and they're people that dress well. There's a fashion show every stepper set.
Right.
Really on Wednesday nights.
Every stepper set, there's a fashion show. So we wanted to take that to a different level, because they come out great. There's nothing better than a stepper look. I'm telling you, great. So we wanted to do that, but we wanted to add something to it. We wanted to add a soft music to it, because as you know, stepping music is a created music. It's not,
Right.
These guys mix their own stuff to make
Right.
some great stepper stuff. I'm telling you.
Nothing
This-
static about that.
Oh yeah, they do a fantastic job, and I'll be doing some legendary things with those artists too. But as far as Gary's Genesis Center goes, we decided to inject a new look along with the steppers. We decided to bring in some great entertainment, as you gentlemen had a
Right.
chance to experience with Lena.
Right.
And I don't want to get her name wrong. I think it's Shania. Anyway, that young lady.
Shantia.
Yes, yeah,
Shantia,
yeah. She used to be with Al Jarreau.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she used to be with Al.
Right.
This girl has a career that's coming up. We're dealing with artists that are on their way up. Although we have some artists that have been out there for a long time, we're dealing on artists that are on their way up, and you guys
Right.
had a chance to experience it.
Right.
And that was just really good, because
I
she
hope
is
you enjoyed it,
tremendous.
Jeff.
And see, I noticed you've been working in conjunction with those same events with the Hammer. You had Fred down there along with those
Right,
entertainers.
right. It's a lucky stroke that I got Fred. I recently met Fred because I really didn't know him.
Right.
We were in California together. We got thrown together for a second on something I was trying to do out there. But now, here's where I really met him. Through Rudy, through his buddy. And
By really, you mean the mayor?
yeah, through the mayor. The mayor, yeah. But the guy's just a genuine person. He's a beautiful person. And, I provide transportation. And we just kind of melted together, got together, did some talking, and found out that we had a lot of things in common. And he approached me actually and says, Tommy, let's do a commercial together. And I says, Fred, that was on my mind, but I was so in awe that I wasn't going to say, well, man, can I do a commercial with you?
Right.
But, God gives you what you're supposed to have, and he
Yeah.
gives it to you the way that you're supposed to have it, and everything happens in its time. So Fred and myself, of course, bonded at that point, and then my creative juices started to flow. I like to write anyway. That's one of my great hobbies, is to write. So I decided to go ahead and write, produce, and direct the commercial, which is going to be a very unusual car commercial, to the point that it will not have prices. I will not clamor prices and this, that, and the other. I won't talk about that. I'll talk about.
Well, Tommy, let's back up a moment then while you're talking about that. We're going to get back to this point. But let's go back to your previous career, which you had done starting here, taking to California, and reaching different. I want you to pinpoint those.
Okay.
I read them in your biography and your resume, and so I know what they were, and they're outstanding.
Right.
Things you've done, particularly in kind when you had those 500, when you were taken around to the major
Right.
events,
Right.
and then how you got back here and became the closer.
Right, right. Well, actually, I started in the car business right here. I've had a lot of other careers here in Indiana, but I started in the car business here at Lynn Pollock. Lynn Pollock was of course, the Buick
Right,
and the
right.
Volkswagen. I started at the Volkswagen store. I've been in sales all my life because I learned sales actually in the church with the Jehovah's Witnesses, going from door to door to door with
With the missionary
magazines.
work.
Right.
And you guys probably saw me at your door. But that's where I really learned. That's why I've been matured. I mean, being honest. I mean, I was able to get past that fear and learn how to talk to people. And that was a great thing. But anyway, getting back to Lynn Pollock. Lynn Pollock, I seized the opportunity to look at what they were doing. And getting into the car business being brand new for me, I had to figure a way to make it work for me. I wasn't going to be a guy that just stood back and waited for people to come to the door and say, well, can I help you? I don't think so. But I devised a thing called a mini Rose Ball in conjunction with Zodiac Club that was on 11th Avenue.
Right.
Fred Marbury.
With Fred Marbury.
Cecil
And
McClellan.
those guys, all the old school. Now, that was jumping at the time.
It sure was.
Right.
What's a better place than to have it jump off? So we did a thing called a mini Rose Ball, where they had the bug. Remember that, the little beetle?
Sure do.
Willie, the coach Willie, I saw him
Right.
run. You know,
Right.
Anyway, they had the mini Rose front and the mini Rose back, and I took that and I made a storyline out of it, where I called it the Mini Rose Ball, and I gave that event down to Marbury's place and had all the Volkswagens parked up front, and I had these gorgeous girls, and I had them talking like parts in the whole bit, and it was just a fun
It's like the auto
experience. Yeah, exactly. It was a fun experience for me, and I guess that was a kickoff of my promotional as far as the car business goes, because it served me well. I got a lot of clients.